Hello viewers, I'm Jimmy Bond. I'm coming to you from Hoofbeats Healing Hearts. This is an organization started by an individual's wife due to her concern for him. She didn't realize where it would be going, but now it is open to the public and it is for trauma victims of any demeanor. She's here to help the public. Her husband has also gotten involved in this and become a major helper. He's went from victim to healer.
This creek right here will lead to Foster Falls, and it is really going good today. And we're going to get a good look at Foster Falls in just a few minutes from a natural overlook. And here we're getting ready to start the southern end of the Fiery Gizzard Trail. You stay on this trail for the next 13 or 14 miles, you're going to end up in Tracy City at the Grundy Forest Trailhead. We're not going to do that today. We might do it later on. That's a future hike, but we're going to concentrate on about 2.5 miles of the south end of the Fiery Gizzard Trail. So let's go. And so we are right here, but how do they know that? Anyway, we're right here, and we're going to be following the Rim Trail. A couple of campsites. We'll go to the small wilds area if we have time and then come back. But today's hike is going to feature some waterfalls that are unnamed and some very nice overlooks. So get ready for a nice hike. Hope you've got your hiking shoes on and ready to enjoy a hike here at the southern end of the Fiery Gizzard. Let's go.
Welcome to another edition of Community Insider. Join us as we travel Middle Tennessee, uncovering history and experiencing the adventure of unique stories and events coming to you inside your community.
Hey there viewers, this is Jimmy Bond back with you. I'm with Justin from Hoofbeats Healing Hearts. Justin, as well as myself, is a veteran. He suffers from PTSD, correct?
Correct.
And his wife got this organization started due to troubles you were having. I mean, actually to help you, correct?
Yeah.
Can you tell them a little bit about how it helped you and what you feel it could do for others? I mean, can you tell our viewers a little bit something about that?
So when I got back from my deployment, I got out of the military, came back home, and my wife and I were struggling. You know, I was angry all the time, drinking alcohol, you know, you name it, I probably did it. And so we really struggled, and my wife was like, well, you need to go get help. So, you know, I went to see the VA, and they did what they could, you know, diagnosed me with the PTSD. And so my wife started doing a lot of research and talking to other people about, you know, what she could do to help my situation. And finally, you know, she came up with the idea for Hoofbeats Healing Hearts, and she used horse therapy. You know, she went and got training and became a
equine therapist, more or less.
Yeah, an equine therapist. And I started spending time with the horses and her, and they really helped me break down, you know, what was causing my anxiety, my stress, some of the painful memories that I had. And after seeing how much it helped me, she was like, well, why can't we do this with other veterans or anybody else that's dealt with any kind of, you know,
trauma of any sort. So, and it's just not for veterans. It's for anybody that has any kind of trauma in their life.
Correct. My wife is actually specifically, she has been trained for sex trafficking, other types of trauma, from the home.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, we're just here to help anyone that we can.
And I don't guess you mind me saying it helped your marriage. I mean, you were having problems there, and it kind of, give you a little more reality and got you all in touch with each other a little more and helped you there, correct?
Correct.
I mean, okay.
At the time, we had 2 kids, and they were younger. They were 5.
Correct.
And we were struggling really hard. We took some time separated to work things out, and when we came back together, we got a handle on my PTSD, and we got a 3rd child now. So everything's going good, and now we're just trying to give back to the community.
There you go. Success in its very best way. You also went to the VA for help with this, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Did you feel that this put you where you needed to be in life, or were you still struggling after that?
I was still struggling. The VA has a lot of soldiers, and we only have one facility here in our area. So it was kind of hard to get that one-on-one that I needed with the VA. They're great. They did everything that they could do, but I was still struggling at home. And with the Hoofbeats, I got that one-on-one, and I was able to really rain down, on what exactly was going on in my situation.
Now, how did you feel when your wife first approached you with Hoofbeats Healing Hearts?
It's a little hard. I'm gonna be honest. As a guy, it's really hard to ask for help, especially an ex-soldier. So you have that issue of having trouble getting help as a male. We're tough, and it's a whole nother situation on trying to get help from your wife. You really got to break down. You got to let those walls be broken down before you can get the healing that you need.
Just admit that she's right.
Pretty much.
Okay. With your wife and you working together, now how does it make you feel, and does it give you a better understanding of the situation by helping others with what you're doing?
Absolutely. Being able to let people know that, I've been through similar things that they've gone through, and being able to reach out and be like, look, it's not the end for you. I've been there. I've hit the rock bottom. But the only place you can go from there is up, and this is definitely the place to do that.
It doesn't heal everything, but it's a big step in the right direction.
Correct.
You got to still want to do things yourself in conjunction. Absolutely. If you're a veteran working with the VA.
Absolutely. Very necessary to work with the VA to get some of the help that you need.
And from a personal standpoint, you being a veteran, do you feel that this type of therapy will help anyone in this situation with therapy, such as maybe rape victims or trauma victims of an accident?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm here with Raelle, correct? Unique name. She is actually the founder of Hoofbeats Healing Hearts. This is Justin's wife, and you got this organization started due to troubles that Justin was having, correct?
Yes, it actually started completely differently, but it definitely developed into thinking of ways to specifically help my husband and other veterans like him dealing with even just reintegration into civilian life. It's also, I know a lot of guys really struggle with that, or a lot of veterans, not just the guys, but it's very difficult to go from soldier back to civilian, especially if that's all you've done for the last 10-15 years.
Absolutely, I can concur.
That's kind of where it started. I actually just wanted to work from home to be with him and with the kids more, and it's started actually as like a homesteading type business, and God was saying no. We hit a bunch of walls, and I had actually had some physical therapy training in Colorado using horses, and I know he will give me all the credit here, but Justin is actually the one that said, hey, you're pretty good at that therapy thing. What do you think about that? And I was like, oh, I just like horses. I can't do that as, my main source of income or anything like that. And the more that we discovered with the PTSD, the more I started exploring these kinds of options, because the VA just didn't have a whole lot available. You know, they have medications which help people get started and founded, but we didn't want that to be a long-term fix. We wanted real healing and moving forward, and that's one of
genuine therapy,
yes,
so to speak.
One of my board members actually suggested this.
Yes.
And it has been an incredible journey learning about it, and being able to work with some of the people that I worked with, seeing the changes in Justin especially. That's obviously our first hand here. So.
Right. Now, Rael didn't just throw this together and say, I'm going to do this. You've taken classes and obtained quite a bit of knowledge on this actual subject. Now, I want to ask you, when you and Justin first ventured into this, did you notice an immediate change, or was it gradual? I mean, did you notice the impact it was having on him pretty quickly?
It happens pretty quickly, and even with the other clients that we've had, you know, even people who are like, oh, I want to try this because I need to try something, but are a little scared of horses, by their second or third sessions, they're eager to be here. They're excited about the changes they're feeling, and it's something that you can see in their lives, and that's what we're here. That's what we're here for. It happens pretty quick, but it is an ongoing thing. You
process.
Have to continue it and make it stronger.
If I'm not mistaken, you were a working wife and parent, and you took maternity leave, and you became so passionate about this that you actually quit your job and decided to make this full time, not due to monetary value, but because you've seen the difference that it made in your husband, correct?
Yes, that sums it up pretty well. Whatever it is that you guys are dealing with coming out of the military, but yes, just any civilian couple that wants to come try this. I mean, even a mother-daughter, father-son, it doesn't matter. This will apply to that kind of relationship and just increase that kind of bond and understanding.
Okay, so you feel that you're probably still in your infancy with this, correct?
Yes.
And you're trying to get it off the ground, and like we stated, it's a drive from the heart, not from monetary value. I'm sure that donations or anything will help, or anybody that just wants to give you a shout on Facebook and come by and see what you're about, whether they're experiencing these problems or not, are more than welcome, correct?
Definitely. We actually, since we opened officially this last July, we have survived solely on donations. We use a scale for payment for the sessions, so it's not going to take a huge bite out of your pocketbook. Basically, if you feel like you can't afford it, please approach me, ask me some questions. I'm more than happy to work with you on that. This is really more about the healing and what you get out of it. That's what our heart is here. We want people to succeed in life, and this is a great outlet for that.
And I know, being a mother, you probably got a soft spot for children also, so more than welcome with maybe introverted children or somebody that's not as outgoing. This may give them an outlet and give them some confidence in what they're doing in everyday life, do you think?
Very much. I was a very introverted child, and this, horses have been my life for my entire life. But I've worked with clients that have very insecure feelings and high anxiety because of those, and through this, they've almost completed their first 8 sessions, and the difference is amazing. Even they themselves have noticed it, and they've become quite a bit more confident in their life and what they're trying to deal with right now. Okay,
if you were a viewer that came here, would you recommend you again?
Yes. I love this kind of work. Even if it's working with animals is a completely different thing than sitting in a room and talking with somebody. This is more about you reflecting yourself. That's what horses do. They reflect. They listen even when you're not saying anything. So you can be out there and you've come in with a smile, but inside you're just pent up, you're angry, whatever it is. They'll tell me that. I can see when somebody's upset when they walk into a pen with a horse. The horse will tell me, they will tell you, even if you're not sure what you're feeling, they tell you that. So that's a really good thing. We learn how to listen and deal with that kind of situation.
Well, here we are back at Foster Falls, but today the show is not going to focus on Foster Falls so much as the south end of the fiery Gizzard. And so we are right here, but how do they know that? Anyway, we're right here, and we're going to be following the rim trail. A couple of campsites. We'll go to the small wilds area if we have time and then come back. But today's hike is going to feature some waterfalls that are unnamed and some very nice overlooks. So get ready for a nice hike. Hope you've got your hiking shoes on and ready to enjoy a hike here at the southern end of the fiery Gizzard. Let's go. One thing you need to know about Foster Falls and this part of the Gizzard, we're in Marion County. Now you look online, you'll see South Cumberland. This is part of the South Cumberland State Park. The visitor center is located in Mont Eagle, but most of the park is not. And this part of the park is in Marion County, but very well worth the drive.
As we stand here and look at this, reminded about a couple of months ago we were here in the early fall, and this was dry as a bone. It was down to about 3 feet. Never seen it that dry before. This Foster Falls we're looking at now is actually a dry waterfall a couple of months ago.
As we approach the head of the Fiery Gizzard Trail, got some steps here, and one thing that you might not realize, that treated lumber steps can be just as slippery as wet rocks. So you got to be careful on this little neck of the trail, because after you get to the steps, then you've got some rocks that are kind of wet. So take your time, don't get in a big hurry. And we're about to get to the little ridge here over the Fiery Gizzard Creek. We're taking our time because we got some wet leaves on the wet rocks. And we're to the bridge. This creek right here will lead to Foster Falls, and it is really going good today. And we're going to get a good look at Foster Falls in just a few minutes from a natural overlook. And here we're getting ready to start the southern end of the Fiery Gizzard Trail. You stay on this trail for the next 13 or 14 miles, you're going to end up in Tracy City at the Grundy Forest Trailhead. We're not going to do that today. We might do it later on. That's a future hike, but we're going to concentrate on about 2.5 miles of the south end of the Fiery Gizzard Trail. So let's go. Now this is my favorite view of Foster Falls. From the trail, overlooks the waterfall and the plunge pool, and it is absolutely beautiful. Look over across the way to Horsetail Falls, where we were a few minutes ago. There's an overlook, I call it a tourist overlook, Right over there is a wooden deck, and it's easy if you're not a hiker. If you have physical limitations that might keep you from coming to this overlook, that is an easy walk from the parking lot, maybe 200 yards from the parking lot, easy walk from the car, if you just want to come see the waterfall and then go back home. But over here, if I don't fall down, this is my favorite view of Foster Falls. Now, back in the early fall, as we mentioned, this waterfall was very dry, and my buddy Deb and I were able to walk where those shiny rocks are, right at the top of the falls, but no trouble at all because the rocks were dry. Hard to believe now. This is the Father Adams campground, the first campsite you get to when you get past Foster Falls. There's another one about 2 miles down the trail, but it's the first one you come to, and a lot of people take advantage of this one. Father Adams campsite. We stopped at one of the overlooks. A lot of overlooks along this trail. Some wild holly berries growing from this overlook. And beyond that, you can see the route of the creek, the fiery Gizzard Creek that runs along here. And this is a nice little overlook. You can almost see the creek down below. Not quite. There are many more overlooks to see. As we look over this way, you can see those bluffs. Those are overlooks, a lot of them. We're going to head over that way. The Foster Falls area is a haven for rock climbers who like to come down here and climb these steep bluffs. It's a real challenge, and rock climbers from all over the country come here to test their skills. This is one of the access trails to get to the top of the bluff, or get to the top, you can get back to the trailhead this way. But a really great place for rock climbers to come and see what they can do on these steep bluffs around Foster Falls. It is a beautiful day here. Nice day for hiking, perfect day for hiking. We're going to proceed on down the trail and see what else there is to see. We've come to a point on the trail where we've run into Mushroom City here. These are, I understand, turkey tails. And look, just thousands of them on these logs here in the middle of the forest. It just keeps going. Different colors. Just amazing. Well, we can hear water. That means we're coming up on a little creek here, or stream, that forms a really nice waterfall. One of those waterfalls that, as far as we know, doesn't have a name. And getting to the base of it will be very difficult, although we're not going to give up on it, but not today.